Okay, we're pretending that this is a cabinet that we're going to put a top molding on, a crown molding. So the first thing we're going to do is measure the sides. Side is 15, side is 12 and a half. Protractor, we're going to measure the angle of the corner. The angle is exactly 90 degrees. What we're going to cut is a right exterior joint. So the jig will go on the right side and the angle will be cut in half because 90 needs to cut in half. You see the angle of the blade is indicated right here to be angled to this side. So we're going to move the saw over, make it 45 degrees. We're going to position our jig on the right side. We're going to see how much clearance we need to position the jig so we can fasten it. That's good. We're going to tighten the jig in place, and we're ready to put in our molding.
The molding goes up is the way you put it in the jig.
The molding in the jig as it appears on the wall, if you have a laser that's on the piece, you can see that you can mark it out and cut it, or just take an arbitrary cut. We made our cut, and it's on an arbitrary left side because that's just where we're starting, so we just need a cut. Now we're going to measure the length of the side that we want and mark for the other cut. We're molding at 12 and a half, and we're going to be making a left exterior cut. So we're going to reset the saw. Loosen the jig and move it to the other side of the saw, and then making a left exterior cut, we want to reposition the saw blade to the opposite side 45 degrees. And we're going to move the jig up as close as we can so that there's proper distance without damaging the jig. So before, the way the molding goes on top is the way it goes into the jig. Now we're going to eyeball the cut in the middle of the cut area. This can be measured first by testing it on a scrap piece and getting the actual cut. But right now we're going to look at positioning it and just doing an eyeball cut. There we go. By eyeballing it, I was pretty right on. There's my 12 and a half. Perfect. We have our piece that's 12 and a half inches long for one of the sides. We repeat this for the second side, which was 15, and get that piece cut. That piece that I just cut and putting it with another mating piece that I had cut previously so that I'm starting the top molding of my edge. And I glued it here so you can see it. We know what the spring angle was so that we have it positioned in the jig correctly. We're using actually 45 degrees. And you put it together and you fasten it, whether you want it on the edge or you want it sitting on the top. Either way that you do your moldings, and it's as easy as that.